Omega-3 fatty acids versus omega-6 fatty acids. Omega-3 are used in the production of highly unsaturated fatty acids and 3-series eicosanoids. These substances have favorable effects on the composition of cell membranes as well as on many biochemical processes in the body: blood pressure regulation, vessel elasticity, immune and anti-inflammatory reactions, and blood platelet aggregation. Among the omega-3, only alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, is qualified as essential. In fact, the other omega-3 fatty acids can be synthesized by the body from alpha-linolenic acid, ALA. It is particularly present in flaxseed and hempseed oil, as well as in canola, rapeseed, oil. Eicosanoic acid, EPA. The human body can synthesize it from alpha-linolenic acid, although the conversion rate is very low. Therefore, it is important to consume foods rich in EPA, including some oily fish. Populations that consume large amounts of fish, for example, Greenland Inuit and Japanese, have a significantly lower incidence of cardiovascular disease. In addition, EPA is converted into 3-series eicosanoids, substances that help protect the arteries and heart and have recognized anti-inflammatory and anti-allergic effects. Docosahexaenoic acid, DHA. Also found in marine products, DHA, particularly in certain oily fish, plays a fundamental role in the development of the brain and retina as well as in the formation and motility of spermatozoa. On this channel, we approach health from a global perspective, working on the 4 pillars of health: diet, physical activity, mental health and sleep. If you are not yet a subscriber to the YouTube channel, Top Fitness Health, consider subscribing, and if you want to be notified when a new video is released, consider activating the little bell. Our omega-3 needs. Omega-3 and their properties are the subject of much research each year, resulting in rapid changes and frequent updates in nutritional recommendations about them. Here is a brief overview of the situation. Several countries, as well as the World Health Organization, have issued recommendations regarding omega-3 intake, which can be summarized as follows. ALA, 0.8 grams to 1.1 grams per day EPA plus DHA, 0.3 grams to 0.5 grams per day. In 2004, a committee of international experts set the ideal intake of ALA at 0.7% of daily kilocalories, 1.5 grams per day for a diet providing 2,000 kilocalories. These experts also recommend a minimum intake of 500 milligrams per day of eicosanoic acid, EPA, and docosahexaenoic acid, DHA, for the maintenance of good cardiovascular health. In North America, the adequate intake of alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, is currently set at 1.1 grams per day for women and 1.6 grams for men, or about 0.5% of energy intake. No intake is set for eicosanoic acid, EPA, and DHA. These recommendations are criticized by some experts as insufficient to reduce coronary heart disease in North America. For the past few years, omega-3 eggs have been commercially available. They are laid by hens whose feed is enriched with flaxseed, which, compared to ordinary eggs, increases their omega-3 content tenfold. An enriched egg meets 25% to 35% of daily omega-3 requirements. As a dietary supplement, the benefits of omega-3. Essential fatty acids are so called because the body cannot synthesize them itself. They must be found in the diet, supplements or food supplements. Typically, omega-3 and omega-6 allow the proper functioning of the cardiovascular, cerebral, inflammatory and hormonal systems, etc. Also, each of these families of fatty acids have properties. For example, omega-3 are good allies in reducing the level of triglycerides in the blood. Omega-3 needs. more precisely alpha-linolenic acid, are between 0.8 and 1.1 grams per day. As for omega-6, their intake should be equivalent to 2% of the amount of kilocalories ingested per day. What does recent research tell us? Probable efficacy. Hypertriglyceridemia. Cod liver oil, an omega-3 rich oil, reduces triglyceride levels by 20 to 50% in patients with hypertriglyceridemia, according to several clinical studies. In addition, krill oil, 1 to 3 grams per day for 3 months, may reduce total and LDL cholesterol and triglycerides in patients with hyperlipidemia. Possible efficacy. Albuminuria and hypertension. Cod liver oil consumption could reduce albuminuria in diabetic patients with neuropathy, as well as blood pressure in patients with mild hypertension. Uncertain efficacy. Arrhythmia and depression. Some preliminary data suggest that cod liver oil reduces symptoms related to ventricular arrhythmia and depressive symptoms, compared to those who do not consume it. Arthritis, premenstrual syndrome. According to preliminary clinical studies, an extract of krill oil with a high omega-3 content, 300 mg per day for 1 month, reduces certain symptoms related to arthritis, pain, stiffness, and premenstrual syndrome. Other studies are needed to validate these results on krill oil. Krill oil also contains omega-9 but small amounts of omega-6. Probably ineffective. High cholesterol and pain. Cod liver oil does not appear to reduce hypercholesterolemia, high total and LDL cholesterol, in individuals with familial hypercholesterolemia. In addition, it does not reduce pain or inflammation. When combined with a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, NSAID, compared to treatment with a single NSAID. Omega-6 fatty acids. The body uses omega-6 to make highly unsaturated fatty acids and eicosanoids series 1 and 2. These substances play an important role in the proper functioning of the nervous, cardiovascular and immune systems, as well as in allergic and inflammatory reactions and wound healing. Consumed in excess, omega-6 fatty acids can counteract the beneficial effects, especially cardiovascular. Excess omega-6 can also cause pain and inflammatory diseases such as asthma or arthritis. Among the omega-6, only linoleic acid, La, is considered essential. In fact, the other omega-6 fats can be manufactured by the body from linoleic acid, La. Unlike alpha-linolenic acid, linoleic acid is abundantly present in the modern diet: corn, sunflower, safflower, grapeseed oils, etc. Gamma-linolenic acid, GLA. The body synthesizes GLA from linoleic acid, La. But there are several obstacles to this conversion: excessive consumption of cholesterol and bad fats, trans, saturated, etc., alcohol, aging and diabetes, for example. We can also consume products that are direct sources of gamma-linolenic acid, GLA, borage oil, 24% GLA, evening primrose, 8% GLA, black currant, 18% GLA, and spirulina. Dihomo-gamma-linolenic acid, DGLA. It is a derivative of GLA. The only known food source is breast milk. DGLA converts to series 1 eicosanoids which help protect the arteries and heart, stimulate immunity and have anti-inflammatory effects. Arachidonic acid, AA. It is a derivative of DGLA. Egg yolks and animal fats are direct sources. Because it is used in the synthesis of series 2 eicosanoids, arachidonic acid, AA, supports wound healing and contributes to the mechanisms of allergic reactions. However, an excess of these eicosanoids can lead to diseases such as arthritis, eczema, psoriasis and many autoimmune diseases. Our omega-6 fat requirements. In 2004, a committee of international experts established adequate intake of omega-6 at 2% of daily kilocalories, or 4 grams for a diet providing 2,000 kilocalories per day. Various studies have also reported that it is necessary to consume between 1.2 and 2 grams of omega-6 per day to obtain the best effects in terms of prevention, including the prevention of coronary heart disease. Some researchers recommend a daily intake of omega-6 about 1% of daily caloric intake. An adequate intake of omega-6, linolenic acid, is therefore between 2 and 4 grams per day. An essential, but very compromised balance. Until about 1920, the manufacture of consumer oils was done on a small scale. The oils were cold-pressed and obtained in small quantities, because they did not keep for long. In fact, omega-3 fats go rancid quickly when exposed to oxygen and light. The imperatives of mass food production have therefore pushed the industry to favor the most stable oils. These oils are also the least rich in omega-3, and they are highly refined, further reducing their omega-3 content. In addition, while fish consumption has decreased, that of processed products rich in omega-6 has increased. The development of intensive farming and breeding techniques has also led to the reduction of omega-3 content in many foods such as green leafy vegetables, meats, eggs and even fish. Result: it is generally estimated that the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 in the Western diet is 10/1 to 30/1, whereas it should ideally be between 1/1 and 4/11.7. Moreover, this excess of omega-6 harms the optimal use of omega-3 by the body. Indeed, in order to be metabolized, omega-3 and omega-6 compete for several enzymes and, to a lesser extent, for several vitamins, vitamins B3, B6, C, E, and minerals, magnesium and zinc. An excess of omega-6 in the diet prevents the body from adequately exploiting its sources of omega-3. This imbalance induces, among other things, a physiological state conducive to cardiovascular diseases as well as allergic and inflammatory disorders. To top it all off, if a disease interferes with fatty acid metabolism, the problem is compounded. Diabetes, as well as excess alcohol, tobacco or stress, can make it difficult or impossible to inability to convert alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, to eicosanoic acid, EPA. According to several experts, a return to a diet providing an adequate ratio of omega-6 and omega-3 would have an impact on the cardiovascular health of Western populations and would also reduce inflammatory diseases. Omega-6 is used to reduce the risk of coronary heart disease and cancer. Uncertain efficacy. Attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. Taking a combination of omega-3 and omega-6 could reduce the symptoms of ADHD, especially in children who also have neurodevelopmental disorders. Coordination acquisition disorder. Some symptoms related to coordination disorder, reading, spelling a word, may be reduced in the presence of a combination of omega-3 and omega-6, according to a preliminary clinical study. Meibomian gland dysfunction. A preliminary clinical study reports that a 6-month treatment with a combination of linoleic acid, 28.5 mg, and gamma-linolenic acid, 15 mg, decreases lens opacity caused by Meibomian gland obstruction, in combination with standard hygiene treatment. Probably ineffective. Multiple sclerosis and mental development. Taking omega-6, in the form of arachidonic acid or linoleic acid, has no effect on the mental development of the baby or the slowing of the progression of multiple sclerosis. Omega-3, marine or plant source? Experts disagree on the rate of conversion of plant source alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, to eicosanoic acid, EPA, and docosahexaenoic acid, DHA. According to some researchers, This ranges from 5% to 10% in 12 to 14-year-olds in the case of EPA and 2% to 5% in the case of docosahexaenoic acid, DHA. Other experts, who question their colleagues' method of calculation, suggest that these conversion rates are less than 1% in 15 to 17-year-olds. So while it's much easier to get eicosapentaenoic acid, EPA, and DHA from fish and fish oils, the experts still recommend varying the sources by regularly eating fish, but also oils and seeds rich in alpha-linolenic acid, ALA. If you are not yet a subscriber to the YouTube channel, Top Fitness Health, consider subscribing, and if you want to be notified when a new video is released, remember to activate the little bell. See you soon for more videos. And until then, take care of yourself.